Khaled, if you had to identify your ideal, let's say, partner, supposing you need a partner from a European country, which do you think are could be the ideal candidate for being a partner? And I think the same question can be done to Wales. I mean, in Egypt, what do you feel to be the ideal partner in this sector?
Yes. Ideally, be a partner with, of course, an added value partner with something that we don't have in Egypt, and that definitely would have to be something that has to do with the experience of the country where that company has worked in. So, for example, any developer or even an EPC company in Egypt that's well established would have already a lot of links outside, but it also has very strong local know-how in terms of sourcing, of manpower, of local procurement, and also with regulations and permitting and all that. So definitely it would be seeking someone with maybe a longer track record of successful projects in the same field in the European country. And in that case, there will be a very good mutual benefit where a company with a more mature track record that would add a lot of value to most of the, I think, the Egyptian players. That would be, people would be seeking that as well. This is the main thing. Another secondary one would be, depending on the program, whether it's a feed-in tariff or a merchant scheme or what have you, is access to different mechanisms of finance, because the finance mechanisms in Egypt are very or are very high end in terms of the interest rates. So maybe that, but that what really regulates that, why I said that was secondary. The first one is the most important, the know-how is the more important, and the track record, because the other one is actually mandated or dictated by what the program and regulation will be. So for example, in the regulation we have right now, for example, where you have the revenue will be with the US dollar or linked to the US dollar, then you automatically have access to better finance options. When you don't, you have to resort to the local commercial banks in Egypt, which are fine, but then they will charge you triple the interest rate, which doesn't make very much sense.
Yes, and if I can add for what Wael said, actually the market in Egypt is open for different segments. If you are talking about the segment of the PV, as Wael said, maybe he's more professional and he has a lot of experience in that. But meanwhile, the market is still a market in another segment, like solar thermal. As Dr. Corker said, we have millions of solar water heaters which will be replaced in the future, and this is actually a big market and a very good opportunity for local manufacture. The issue is how we can secure the investment, or the European or the international investment, to come to Egypt and to invest in solar energy and to solve all these problems for them in order to succeed to have a real business. And I believe that this is not an Egyptian role only, this is our role together, how we can set something like a European fund, a European Egyptian fund, or a European regional fund, which can secure this kind of investment in feed-in tariff, in thermal application, or in different solar energy application, in order to attract all the investors to come and to invest, and they are secure that their money will be having a benefit.
Okay. I think we can make the reverse question to Francesco Rioli and to Gabriele Girardi. Who are the ideal partner of this, your ideal partner in the southern shore of the Mediterranean, if there is any specific feature?
I would say an ideal partner is a partner who suits you as a company and who suits you like a good suit. This means solid fabrics and tailor-made. Solid fabrics means financially and technically strong in the field of reference, in our case, steam generation. For the technical part, financial part means that you get paid, which is not irrelevant. The tailor-made means on one side that, as you said before, pilot project, we are into something quite innovative. Again, the presentation from CMAT before made the point that small-scale CSP is not something spread and existing since 50 years in the world. It's much less mature than PV. So is someone willing to tackle this from a technical point of view again, and also from a strategic point of view. So to set up a pilot project requires an openness of mind, or a first of the country, first of its kind in the country type of project, requires an openness of mind which may or may not be for everyone.
Okay. What about Ires?
Il nostro partner ideale, noi cerchiamo la collaborazione con qualcuno che ci possa supportare dal punto di vista della penetrazione commerciale e che quindi ci conosce il mercato e così via, e che possa supportare i clienti dal punto di vista finanziario, quindi aiutarli nell'andare a chiedere il prestito per fare l'impianto, perché abbiamo visto che è una delle difficoltà più grosse l'accesso al credito. I meccanismi che ci sono in Tunisia sono abbastanza difficoltosi, e quindi c'è una certa, almeno da quello che abbiamo potuto vedere noi, una grossa propensione al cercare delle risorse finanziarie per fare l'investimento e non pagare direttamente l'impianto subito, e quindi questo è quello che cercheremo. Noi possiamo portare quindi la nostra esperienza, la nostra capacità tecnica, formativa. Abbiamo già fatto anche questo portando delle persone da noi qua e formandoli, e quello che ci servirebbe è un partner là che invece ci dà una mano dal punto di vista appunto commerciale e dello sviluppo della parte finanziaria.
Okay. Thank you. I think we have time for just a couple of questions before going to lunch. I mean, you have to make 2 questions before going to lunch, please. If you have some question, otherwise we can.
So my question, first of all, addresses especially solar thermal, because that's my expertise. We have been speaking quite a lot about the residential sector and just a little bit of the industrial branch, and Francesco was introducing this topic before. So I'm pretty much, I know quite well the situation in Tunisia because we have some projects there. I know a bit less the situation in Egypt and Lebanon. I was wondering, how do you see the, let's say, will or the possibility of introducing solar thermal? Even PV could be interesting if you want, in the industrial sector, so solar process heat, for example, and which are, in your opinion, the main obstacles?
Solar thermal in Egypt is completely studied for a long time. There is a lot of how to implement solar thermal application in industry. We addressed a specific kind of industry, which is, we believe that it's more attractive, like food industry, like pharmaceutical, like chemical industries. And I believe that this kind of, or this segment of industry to be a startup for the business for many aspects and for many reasons. One of them is it's attracting the most SMEs in the society, and of course the technicality of the application of the solar thermal in this kind of industry. I believe that this segment is completely ready. All remaining is financial scheme.
I think in Lebanon, the only area where we can integrate such technology is the industrial sector. And more specifically, the industrial sector where they are in need of certain hot water or steam in their process, which is, I think, the food and beverage, which is a very active industrial sector in Lebanon, as well in the mill, paper and tissue mills, where they need the steam in a huge quantity, and they are relying actually on the heavy fuel oil to generate the steam or hot water.
Thank you. Thank you to all the speakers, and I think we can move to the third session of this conference, which is the networking lunch, kindly offered by the Italian Ministry of the Environment. So thank you very much, and hope you can make some interesting deals in this lunch.